functions. Functions are a relationship that's going to take elements from one set to another set. So let's consider, for example, the set A and the set B. A function is going to be a relationship that's going to map elements of A to elements of B. But one specific criteria that a function must meet is that when you have an element A or your input, it cannot be mapped to more than one output. So it has to be a unique output. So for example, here, this will be a function from set A to the set B. So notice how each element in the set A is mapped to only one output. Now it can be the case that one element in the set B is a shift from two different values of the input, but it is still a function. Now, there are different types of functions. Let's talk about one-to-one functions, also called injective functions. So for a function to be one-to-one, each element in the codomain can only be mapped to one element of the domain. So this here would be a one-to-one. And something that is not one-to-one will look like this. So this is not one-to-one because we have two different inputs mapping to the same output. So let's take a look at some examples. If I define a function going from the set of the positive integers to the set of positive integers given by f of x equals x squared, then is this function going to be one-to-one or not one-to-one? So for this function, we can see that any positive integer that you can input into this function is going to give you a unique output. But no output in this function or in the value of this function is going to be given by a different value of the input. So for example, let's take 3 squared, which equals 9. This output cannot be obtained by anything other than 3. Because remember, we restricted our domain and our codomain to the set of positive integers. So this here is 1 to 1. What happens if instead I have the same function, or rather the same formula, but with my domain going from the set of real numbers to the set of real numbers? So in this case, just by example, you can see that three squared equals 9, but also negative 3 squared equals 9. So you have two different inputs, 3 and negative 3, that equal the same output, 9. So for this function, defined like this, the function is not 1 to 1.